I thought it was going to be easy. I thought I'll just come and just say, I'm back from Lagos. With all these skills, like, yeah, you should come and learn how to bake. I can remember I even put my training to be like 70K there, and I was like, see, I'm going to hit the ground rolling. When we now went back, after I fixed the prices and everything, I told my pastor that, oh, this is how much I'm going to be charging. I saw the look on his face. Who is going to pay you this 70K in this area? That's how the price started dropping. Until my first training, I charged 10K for the training.
Now, what was the journey like? How were you able to now build it? I know it's a very big question to ask at once, but don't worry, we'll take it bit by bit. Because now you've been able to build a business. That was what your profile said.
Yeah.
From being a baker or from managing to learn and work. To becoming a proper baker, you know, and everything, and then build this brand, build this business. So tell me. So after you learned that, what happened? You went for service here?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went for service, didn't really bake throughout that year. And sincerely, I didn't really plan to take it as a business.
Oh.
Yes, as of service, yeah, it was just still something I just loved to do. I thought, I don't like talking, I don't like selling, I don't like anything that involves meeting people, I don't like. So I just thought I would just do a normal 9 to 5 where I'll just be maybe in the bank, just, hello, how are you? Just proper, I know my job description and
So why did you learn the baking?
It was still Ejimi's influence, yes. He just telling me that, okay, see, you're very good with this. Every time you bake, people love what you do. So why not just take it like a step further? For me, it was, I didn't see myself as a business person. I've never seen myself as somebody who would sell. Like, my mom used to have a shop when we were growing up, and I didn't like going there because I don't even know how to negotiate.
And right now you're a cellist.
Yes.
You are not a seller, you have become a cellist.
Yes.
So how did you, you got married?
Yes.
You know, after service here?
Yes, after service here, we moved back to Lagos, and then everybody in Lagos, what do you do? That question tormented me. Why do you people ask people that question?
Because that's the next thing. What's your name? I'm O. What do you do?
I just got married, and I just came
married.
to be married and to born. In fact, when I got pregnant almost immediately, so I'm like, see, I'm burning. I'm burning. So everybody kept asking that question everywhere. What do you do? What do you do? And I'm like, okay, you have to find something to do now.
So Lagos people
forced me.
showed you that how it is done here is different. We hustle.
Yes.
We're always on the move, making something new. Wow.
Exactly. So knowing that.
So when you came to Lagos, you were not baking. You stopped.
I wasn't baking. Yes.
Completely.
Yes.
You
and
were
I
just
didn't.
wifing.
Yes. I just wanted to be a
modeling.
wife. Let me be taken care of. But then the pressure, everybody, what do you do? Hey, hello, what do you do? Every time my husband takes me out, what do you do? So my sister-in-law introduced me to, it's a program called WAVE, where people who are passionate about the hospitality industry, they train you on how to be a good servant, and then also how to get a job in the industry. So I went and I trained for, I think the program was 2 weeks then. And after the 2 weeks, they would now recommend you to different hotels, wherever you want to work in the industry. Yes. So I was recommended to a hotel, and then I went. But before then, Ejimi still insisted that I went to learn how to bake.
Again,
so, yes,
another,
yes,
like a grade higher than
yes,
what you learned back in Kaduna.
Yes, because he was like, okay, you're in Lagos, and you know the competition in Lagos is much. You can't be selling what you're selling
back then.
Yes, so he was like, if you want to be the best in Lagos, then you have to find out who are the best baking in Lagos. So went to all his rich aunties, And we were like, where do you buy your cakes? So they told us the places where they buy their cakes. We now went there. I baked my cake and took to one of the one of the bakers. She didn't even eat the cake. She just cut the cake. She was like, the cake, why is it looking like this? She just finished the cake like this. She was like, okay, I don't train, but I'll recommend somebody else. So she recommended us to somebody. The first person we went, they told us it was 100K. And honestly, we could not afford 100K at that time. So we went to somebody else. And that person just taught me only how to bake. I think we paid like 35K. I provided all the ingredients. And then I learned. The class was for like 2-3 days. After the class, I now resumed in the hotel. Working in the hotel was an experience because for me, that's also something I'm passionate about, food. And also, I worked in the kitchen as like an assistant chef. But you know the way the hotel can be now, the way they just say very, very silly things. And as a married woman, sometimes I'll go to work and then my boss will just say something very, very off. And me, I'm a northerner, very quiet. I'm not confrontational. So I couldn't like just put my foot down and say, I don't like these things you're saying. So like yes. So I'll just smile and just let it pass. But it really used to get me very annoyed. And that was even the major reason why I had to leave, because sometimes he would just say things like, one day I'm going to carry you and just escape with you. Or he'll say, and once you give birth like this, your husband will just carry the child, I'll just carry you and go. And I'm like, why are you saying things like this
Boundaries.
to me? You get, but he's my boss, and he was a very authoritative, very, very, very annoying boss. So over time working with him, I just got tired.
And then the stress of the pregnancy.
And the stress of the pregnancy, standing all day and all. So I was just like, it was 3 months, like just a probation. And so after that, I was like, God, I'm not doing it again. So when I let it go, I stayed at home until I gave birth to Seba. Then I got another job. I didn't tell you about that one. I got another job. And that was a baking job. That was something I was very passionate about. In fact, when I went for the interview, the way the owner of the company was smiling at me during the interview, I already knew I had gotten the job. Now it was time to resume. They told me to come on Monday. I didn't know how crazy Lagos traffic and everything was. I just had a baby. I think she was like 3-4 months then. So the plan was, the job was in the island. So the plan was I would drop Seba at creche and then go to work. The first day, I went late. The second day, I went late. It was just, on the second day, the boss just said, we really want to keep you here, but sorry, we just have to let you go. And that thing just, like, it stabbed me.
And how were things financially at that time?
We didn't have, and the job was okay because they were willing to pay me 70K then. So for me, it was okay. Like, it was better than the 15,000 naira that
that was the income for the hotel.
For the hotel job. But then I just entered the bus that day, and I was just sitting down quietly. Like, I think I cried on my way back.
You must cry.
Yes,
because
so on my way back, I was just like, see, this is all you have, this baking. Just work it and like just put all you have and grow this thing. I looked at, I could see the picture of what the woman had built, and I was like, I'm going to build something like this.
So pictures spoke to you again?
Yes. So I was like,
so and this time around, because she was receptive, she was positive.
Yes.
And even though, yes, you didn't meet up or something, because I remember then, I used to wonder, can you just shy small? Can you just, like, everybody deals with nausea.
Yeah.
Everybody deals with money sickness. Everybody is dealing with Lagos pressure. So that this hunger will not finish us. Can you just like, I'm trying. It just starts. I woke up early. Some things just happened. I just couldn't meet up, something. But the picture you saw when you went for the interview, when you tried going to work the first or the second day, you saw yourself replicating
what she had done.
And that's, spoke to something on your inside.
Yes, I was like, you can build this thing on your own terms. You can put in the work and have this same thing that she has. I can remember I called a friend of mine. I told her, see, they just fired me right now. But see, I don't think I can work for anybody again. I'm going to build my business. And that was when I took it seriously. I started.
But in as much as you're not working for anybody right now, compare your work ethic now. I like that smell. Your work ethic now, your resilience now, your grit now, and then.
I didn't know it was going to be tough.
The journey was tough.
Yes.
But you're a far different person
Yes.
now from that
Yes.
person. Do you go to work late now?
I still go to work late.
Are you serious? I didn't expect the answer.
I still go to work late.
Are you serious? You go to work, you still go to work. Because you now pack everything you need to do in that space.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So, like, for me, from day one, my mom had always complained I'm very sluggish. I don't know if sluggish, I think that's the word. They say I'm laid back, I'm very, very slow. In fact, every time, my results, they must say it. She's very this, she's very that, but she's very sluggish. So my mom was always complaining about it. And that's something I've carried even into my adulthood. But I've realized that areas where you're weak, you could get people who are strong in that area. So definitely when you go to my store, there's somebody there early. But me, I would come late. Except I have serious work to do. That's when, like today, I didn't sleep. Like it was every 1 hour because I'm a very late. I wake up very late. Like I'm always late.
So to be able to meet up.
Yes, I have to wake up every 1 hour, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
You have some aunties in your WhatsApp group that are nodding right now and giving you, like, in fact, some people in this room right now in this room that are saying, oh, we're on this table touch together, let's shake it. Okay.
Yes.
The work ethic, how much you have to give into it, how you have to keep going even when you don't feel like it.
Yes. At a point, and there was a time I was like, God, can I just be working for somebody? Like,
Who is entrepreneur? No, I'm not.
I felt that way so many times. Like, you know, you're the boss, everybody's calling you. This thing, if it doesn't work out, they're not going to hold anybody. You're the one they're going to hold. So that is another aspect of being an entrepreneur that I feel we don't realize until we start the work. Yeah, so.
But you've been able to push from that time
Yes.
till now.
Yes.
Beautiful. So let's break it down, the journey. So from having Saber and then okay, you now started baking.
Yes.
Right. So how was the business then? How was the patronage?
Okay, so when I started in Lagos, Hill City was my first, like, people started patronizing me from Hill City first. I think we used to have these baby showers, and then I'll bring in cupcakes, and then when people eat it, they'll be like, wow, your cakes are so nice, and then people started recommending me, and that was how I started baking. People started knowing about the business. I started saving. I think I was able to buy some cake tools from what I saved and all. But then we now had to leave.
No, no, let's not move to that living yet.
Okay.
That living of breaking everybody's heart. We'll get there, you know. But let's still, so yes, so you had Saber, and then almost immediately.
Yes,
you were pregnant.
Okay, so baking, balancing being a baker and having my daughter then, I think she was 1. And then the next thing, I just found out I was pregnant again. I don't even know how that one happened because I calculated everything. I was
I
saying.
don't understand. It's flu. The thing jumped from, it was contagious. Okay. No, seriously.
I was safe.
You know you were safe. You don't know how it happened. Okay. But it happened.
So I found out I was pregnant. I remember I started feeling the same nausea and all the ways I was feeling when I was pregnant with Saber. I'm like, no, it can't be possible. Did a pregnancy test. Found out I was pregnant. I remember boxing my husband. Like, why would you do this to me?
You did it to yourself.
I was just hitting him that day, hitting him. And then I cried for the first day, cried the second day, cried the third day. Like, I kept on crying throughout the day. On the fourth day, when I wanted to start crying, he was like, babe, if you cry again, I'm going to hit you. Anyway, like, not like hit you, but like
wake up.
Yes. I'm also crying. I'm a man. I'm also crying, like, because
and things were really challenging
yes,
financially
things were really
then.
challenging for us. We didn't really have all the money. He had also he resigned his first job when I just had Saber. So it was really tough for us then. I think for me, it was like, you've not yet put your life together. You're bringing another human being to the world. And growing up as a northerner, it's not an issue for me. Because I saw the way my mom grew in the family. Like, you just take Gary, like, it's not a problem.
And keep having the
Exactly.
children.
And keep having, as in, you teach them to take Gary too. But Ejimi was just like, no, this is not the life I planned for myself and all of that. And I was already feeling like a burden, like, now you want to add another extra mouth to this whole drama. So I was depressed throughout that pregnancy. I was not ready for it. I was not ready for the nausea. I thought my business, my baking was going to pause and all. But then I pushed. I just kept pushing and kept, like, encouraging myself. So
you continued baking?
Yes, I continued baking.
With the second pregnancy?
With the second
Unlike the first time that you left it.
Yes, yes.
I tried to go and sit down at home.
Yes.
But this time around, there had been some growth.
Yes.
There was a bit of reality check.
Yes.
And you continued pushing.
Yes.
And then you had your second child.
Yes.
But your business still at that time, you are not scaled even close to where you are right now.
No.
So tell me what happened.
Okay,
You now saw the next way forward.
So I think that was what you were trying to tell me then, like, why are you complaining about pregnancy? Because with the second pregnancy, I realized that, okay, I'm having all the symptoms that I was having, but I'm still pushing myself.
You're boring yourself.
Yes, because, okay, there are mouths that need to be fed. It's not like the bulk of the responsibility of the home was on me, but I knew that I needed to also bring something to the table, and I've always had that mindset right from when I was growing up, that I want to be somebody who could also contribute to the family. So that was when we moved, like, because I was pregnant for Jael when we made that decision to leave.
So what inspired that decision?
Okay, so many things inspired the decision to move. The fact that first we're living in our family house. I was living with my father-in-law because my mother-in-law just passed on before we got married, and that was part of the reasons why we had to come to Lagos after we got married, because everybody was like, who is going to stay with daddy? And also at this point, if we keep staying here, it's going to become an issue, because I would always be taking my husband's side and it will become somehow. And then before we came into Lagos, my husband already told me, God told him it was 2 years we're going to spend in Lagos. So when I started sensing all of those agitations, I just knew that it was time to move. Just like the story of, I think it's Jacob, and where they were struggling for the well, and also I was just like, see, at this point, I'm not even Isaac. So I'm not even like there's no point. Let's just move. God has already said it's time. It's time.
So you now moved because you're in Northerner.
Yes.
You married a Yoruba man. And from what I gather, he's the only male in his family.
Yes.
And you had the chest. How many people faced you? Because even if he was the one, because he's the one that made the decision finally.
Yes, yeah.
But how did you have the chest, okay? Because which mouth did you even used to say, we are not only going back to the north, we are going back to Kaduna, where I came from. Is this style you used to come and used to carry our son, you know? So how were you able to push without making that transition?
Okay, so I think the mistake he made was telling me God had told him 2 years. So I was already counting it for him, like, guy, it's 2 years. 2 years has clocked. It's time for us to move. I remember when we told everybody, was like, this is not a smart decision to make.
Because you're in Lagos and you
Yes.
talked about how it was difficult to move at the pace of Lagos.
Yes.
Everybody was always asking you, what do you do?
Yes.
What do you do? Why do you want to go back to a laid back? Because now some things have been birthed on your inside, sparking
Yes.
up. Why do you want to go back to a place where it will be slower and you can take it easy?
Yes, and it's going to be a new terrain again. You don't know anybody, nobody knows you. You want to start building again from scratch. But at that point, I was just holding on to what God had said. Like, I could sense it in my heart, in my spirit, that it was time to move. And I knew that for my husband, we've had so many major decisions like that where we know, okay, this is time to do this. And when we don't do it, it just passes and we now remain
You
in
miss that Kairos moment.
Yes. So it was just, I was surprised too at the way when I brought it up. He just said, okay, oh yeah, just go to Zaria, go and find a house and all. So the speed with which he also responded let me know that it was God. And
so the major thing for you was the peace you had about it. You had there's that weakness in your heart.
Yes,
This is the next step to take.
Yes.
Then the agreement with your husband, the way you were in sync about it.
Yes.
So you're willing to talk to anybody,
Yes.
including me. Very heartbreaking. But we're grateful for the decision. So what changed? What were you guys able to do that helped you thrive so well back in the north?
Okay. So before we left for Zaria, we all went for trainings. I went to upgrade because I was like, okay, you want to go back to Zaria, even though it's laid back, you still don't want to go and be a local champion. You still want to go and put your A game out. So I went back to where I trained and I got more certifications. I learned how to decorate properly, both fondant, buttercream, everything I needed.
So you
how to
learned
make
all that for
flowers.
Zaria. You did not give us that.
So Ejimi on the other side went to learn. He wanted to start training online at that point because he was already at a point in his business where he wanted to scale, like start to train online. So he went to be trained properly on how to go about that. So both of us, those were the only things that we had as skills when we went to Zaria. So by the time we relocated, we just started, and there was already pressure because I was pregnant. And I remember before we left, because it was my idea, my husband used to say, so when we get there, how are we going to eat? Like, he was always asking me, so when we get there, how are we going to eat? Because you're the one that said, oh yeah, you're the one reminding me that God said, so how are we going to eat? When we got there, I thought it was going to be easy. I thought I'll just come and just say, I'm back from Lagos. With all these skills, like, yeah, people should come and learn how to bake.
Is he Zoro style or Tarzan? You wanted to the gang or Superman? I'm here. Oh, yeah, all of you. Start coming. Bring your money.
I'm telling
Patronize
you.
me.
I can remember I even put my training to be like 70K then. I was like, see, I'm going to hit the ground rolling. I can remember then when we now went back after I fixed the prices and everything. I told my pastor that, oh, this is how much I'm going to be charging. I saw the look on his face, but I didn't know. I should know that his face was like, who is going to pay you this 70K in this area? That's how the price started dropping. Until my first training, I charged 10, thank you, for the training. And so with every training, I would get more people to talk about, oh, she's really good and she's that. So with every training, when I started, it wasn't really about the money because I wasn't really making money, but I just wanted the product to just be out there. Let it just register in the hearts of people that there's somebody who is good in Zaria. So that was how I started. There was even one training I did that was 1,000 naira.
Wow.
And I got like 10 people.
So what really changed was you moved from a struggling baker,
yes,
a struggling business owner,
yes,
to somebody that, okay, I want to aspire for more. And that's why we see that recurrent, you getting trained, you getting trained.
Yes.
You now became a trainer.
Yes.
And that brought out better skilling.
Yes.
Made you keep going back for exposure.
Yes.
Going for exposure.
Yes.
And that's how we have
Yes.
the wonderful, you know, experience that we have with you now.
Yes.
Remember while we're behind, as in before the cameras came, I was teasing that Hope has gone from person like, let me patronize Hope so that at least the money comes from me. Let me just buy the cake from her.
Yes.
Now it has gone to let me gather my money. Let me gather my faith. Let me trust God. I want Hope's cake
Yes.
for my wedding or for my, you know. But
Yes.
what has happened? Training.
Yes.
Training other people. So you
Yes.
expose yourself at the higher level, then you can train at the higher level.
Yes, that's what happened. So training at a lower level, taking little money, then I'll gather the money, go back for another training. Like everybody knows, there's not a year that passes without me coming back to Lagos or like going to Abuja to get trained. And that thing just made even people in Zaria to be like, who is this person and why is she always going to get trained? And so every time I go to get trained, I could increase my charges, like how much I charge to get trained, and then I could also increase the cost of the
number
cake.
of people.
Yes.
Okay, so one thing I've been able to see, you know, consistently is you kept on training, and it's never too much. You keep getting better. So if there's any way you can scale up, you train. So you scale up, then you train. You are better exposed. You train. You scale up. Now you've been able to put yourself in a position where you are not only training and scaling up for yourself, you're training others and scaling up your training, scaling. So there's no way the impact is growing. Then another major thing is instead of a one-man thing, now you've been able to put a lot of system and structure into your business. So tell me, how did that start? Because now from not being an economist or being a book person, now you're running a business. You're not just baking, you're not just making money. You have an entity, you have an organization that is running. So tell me, what changed? What's, you know,
Okay, so at a point I realized that, okay, this is what I really want to do. And I really want to grow this thing to become a real business, a household name. I want to make income out of the business. And I just knew that I wouldn't be able to do it with the limited knowledge that I have. And there's something my husband will always say. He'll say that that's when mentorship should come in, that you look at people who have done what you want to do, and then you go and submit under them and then learn from them. So I looked again, and some names kept on recurring, people who have built their business into brands that are well known in Nigeria. And I was like, okay, this is who I want to be like. And so I went to her and did her training, and doing her training now gave me access to her. And then I realized that she was doing a business structure training. And so I enrolled for that. Before then, I had even done a training online with Tara, business structure too. And so having that knowledge from both of them taught me how to put in structure in the business, so that when I'm not around, like I'm not currently around, but we're resuming work today, and we've already started taking orders, and I know that there are systems to
there's structure, you know.
Yes.
Because at times people, I remember one entrepreneur recently, somebody wanted to start a business, and Pisha, that's my husband, kept on saying business and structure. Business, and I said, every time you say that, I just hear the word business. I just hear systems and structure. System. What exactly is system? What exactly is structure? And everybody started laughing. And people were like, no, don't laugh. Let's exactly understand. Because it was like, okay, what will I do? And then before Pasheg was able to break it down, structure is everybody has their role in the organization. There's a role.
Yes.
So people can come in to play that role. But that person, if you remove that person, the structure is there.
It's still there.
Somebody else can fit in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
And then when it comes to system, the same way you have alimentary canal, you have digestive, that's the digestive, you know, system, you have the excretory system. When it gets to the mouth, from the mouth, it will get to the esophagus, it gets to the stomach, then it, you know, like that. So that's the same. So you have system, you have what you like. You are the CEO, and then you have other ones. And then you have a system of this is how we take orders.
Exactly.
This is what we do. This is how many days. So someone cannot come now and say, please give me my cake in next 2 hours.
No.
Or maybe there's a system that says if you want express, then
Yes,
this is how much you have
this is
to
how much
pay,
you
this-
charge, and then you can't have custom designs, because if you want express, it's just going to be a regular birthday cake without a custom design.
So if it's a custom design, it has...
Yes, we have
how
like
long?
2, 3, 4 days notice, and then you send in your design, so we
What
can
are the
plan.
other unique systems you have in place that's helped you?
Okay, so as a business, there should be the way that your customers should approach you. Like, I'm always making reference to my husband because he's like my mentor. Don't
worry, I think we'll just about him later, maybe towards the end.
Okay, so he used to say that in life, people want to come and meet you through whatever way they want to come to you, but that you are the one to create the door, the channel with which people must come to meet you. So as a business, you should understand what channel you're comfortable with to make the customers come to you through that system. So I realized that me, as an introvert that I am, I really do not like being the face of the business or being out there. So the first structure is that as the customers come, I chose the best channel with which I want to meet the customers, which is, for me, WhatsApp. So I don't even get to talk to you. If I pick up your call, hello, and you're like, oh, I want to order a cake, I'm like, okay, let's chat on WhatsApp. So that's the first structure for inquiry through me as the CEO. But then I have a staff who is comfortable with seeing customers, who follow up with customers, who knows how to engage customers, which is something I did. Like, a limitation for me, I got somebody who has a strength in that area. So that's another structure we put in, that from the first contact you have with the customers. If you want to have contact with the CEO, then you have to go through WhatsApp. But then if you don't want to, if you want a more like personal one-on-one, then you can come physically to the store, but I'm definitely not going to be the one to see you. And then we also have the structure for receiving calls, which I have a staff who handles phone calls, and all of them are trained to take up all the roles and responsibilities. So there's somebody who is in charge of baking. I don't bake anymore. In fact, I don't even know how to bake anymore. I'm more passionate about decorating. So all I do is, because I already have the intuition, I know when a cake is perfect. I know by just seeing it, I know what's wrong with the cake. So I just supervise the baking. I don't bake anymore. So we have bakers, we have people who decorate fondants, we have people who decorate buttercream, whipped cream. I also have a staff, I have a structure for cleanup, I have a structure for inventory, I have a structure for everything. Like
the finance.
Yes, exactly. And also for finance too. If you come directly to me, I'll reduce price for you, because I'm not very firm with saying, oh, this is the price of this thing.
So I'm going to come directly to you. That's true. Where's my cake? You have come to Lagos
I
again
came
with
with your cake. So exactly, I'm a very free, oh, somebody can just come, oh, give them cake and this. So there's a structure for that. Pricing, I have a staff who talks directly with the customers on pricing. I don't talk. In fact, if you come to the store and you see me, after we greet and all, I'll just call in the staff who is responsible for
the price list.
Exactly. So I don't interface with the market. I don't know the prices. That staff is the one who keeps in touch with. I just got people who are efficient in the system, because I know that what I'm passionate about is let the cake taste nice, let the customer be wowed, and that's what I'm passionate about. I have staff who are like, we are not making profit if you charge this way. So they put their foot down and they make sure that we're in profit.
Fantastic, fantastic. I didn't put 0. My God. The Lord my God. And I am a God. 2 times 1. Are you recording? Ah, you have started. You have started. I caught you people. So you will not catch me. Oh yeah, let's pray. Let's pray.